Hey everybody, this is Kiara here. It's March 30th, 2020. So I was expecting I had another hour, but it seems like the time suddenly changed in Europe, so I just am here right now. So 1:30 Indian time, 10 a.m. now in mainland Europe, 9 a.m. in England, UK, and wherever it is elsewhere. So, hi everybody. So it's good to see you all, feel you all, connect with you all here at this time. What a beautiful, crazy, strange experience we're having collectively. I've been reflecting on these times as we all have. And it's an amazing time. We've never really had a time in recent years where we've been forced to go into cocooning. I see it as part of a major reset that's happening as people withdraw into who they truly are, away from the rat race, connecting with deeper aspects of themselves, of the soul, the heart, the mind, the spirit. So we can begin to reveal what's happening on layers that we haven't fully appreciated and understood yet. So I see this, whatever's going on, and in my blogs I've been speaking about this in different ways, different perspectives of what's going on with the coronavirus and what it actually means. The facts and the fallacies, the fears and the panic, along with the opportunities that we are given now. So welcome to these times. Such a gift that we're here on this earth right now, to be able to experience this, to be able to grow and to participate in this time of shift. So let's do it together. I feel like we're here at this time to make waves. Powerful waves, tsunamis of new consciousness, of new awareness, of new power, and in ways that we may not have understood yet, we may not have allowed ourselves to feel yet. Whenever there's panic, whenever there's a fear, it becomes that much more difficult to actually connect with our power, with our truth, to discern what's real from what's not real. And it becomes all the more important now to be able to make that discernment, to be able to understand who we are, why we're here, as the deepest source of our being. So it's not so important what's happening around us. Of course, we have to participate in that, but we can also shape that based on our inner knowings, based on our inner choices. And that's what we're doing here now. We've all chosen to be here at this time, a deep soul choice that we've made to be here. And yay, it's such a gift. I'm reminded of a book that I read a long time ago by David Hawkins called Power versus Force. And in this book he refers to a scale of consciousness going from 0 to 1,000. And what he says in this is that 0 being total fear, shame, guilt, just being basically unconscious, and 1,000 being in a state of unity consciousness as a cosmic creator. And what he says is that around 200 is the average human state of consciousness. It's just beginning of self-empowerment, self-awareness, self-worth. And it's a logarithmic scale, and this is what's interesting. So one person that's vibrating at 300 on the scale is capable of counterbalancing maybe 10 people who are vibrating at the average of 200. And then you come along and you move into a state of, say, 400. And you can then counterbalance 10 people. You go on to 500, you're counterbalancing 100 people, and then 1,000, 10,000, a million, a billion people. When you enter into that state of unity consciousness, there's no separation between you as an individual consciousness and you as a collective entity that is the earth, that is humanity. And from that space, you find that you're able to influence things happening around you just with your presence. This is what the supramental descent is about, which I've spoken about in some of my blogs. It's an opportunity to bring that unified light in such a way that we can actually change things without effort. It's not our human personal effort that's making things happen. It's our ability to hold a state of presence through which the universe can come through which this divine force can come through. And this is our opportunity, if we can maintain that space of oneness, if we can allow ourselves to recognize and deepen into who we truly are as divine humans on this earth. So I would encourage people, if you haven't, to go through some of these blogs in the past few days, and also go back to my website for earlier blog series that I've been doing regarding some of these themes. So while we're here together, what I'd like to do is maybe do some meditation so we can connect to look together into that unified space. It doesn't take much. It's really all about just entering into that state of presence and allowing that to to shine out through us and beyond us. So some of you have participated in workshops and seminars where we've been working with the Quero Inca practices to open doorways between the upper worlds, middle worlds, and lower worlds, and then to bring the Ilahi Nur field, which is this field of divine light, to enter through. You could refer to this as a supramental light, you could refer to this as the divine unity, however, it doesn't matter. But it's a space beyond the boundary of creation. So what I'm talking about is it comes from a level of the mind which isn't in duality. It's not in the field of right and wrong, good and bad, because that separates us, that creates a barrier between who we are and our experience of reality. It shapes reality, it puts reality into a box. Our belief systems and our judgments, our interpretations of reality are not really what's going on behind the scenes. And as we become creators, connecting with this unified field, then we can shape reality in a different way by entering into a state of mind where we become that. We're not just simply experiencing it from the outside, we're actually entering into that field from the inside. So let's enter into that field together now. So this is something we can do wherever you are. I'm doing this from my mobile phone, so I don't quite know how many people are on this line with me and where you are. I'm grateful that we're all here together. I can feel this build-up of presence. So thank you. Thank you for participating and joining. Before doing this meditation, I just want to remind people that we will be continuing to do this 3 times a week for the next however long. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. So I suppose since time has changed, or the time clock has changed, or the time zone has changed, however, it's going to be at 10 o'clock European time, or 10 o'clock German, Dutch, Italian time. And just translate that to wherever you are in the coming days. So All right, so let's go into a space together. So allow yourself to take some deep breaths. Become aware of a bubble of light that completely surrounds your physical body, extending out about 1 or 2 meters in each direction. All around you, above you, below you. This represents the middle world. This represents your conscious mental awareness. So it includes your sense of personal self, your mind, your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, your memories, your history, your personal identity, everything that you think is who you are. So this is the middle world. And now imagine at the very top of this bubble, there's a window. It's a circular window reaching up into the upper world. And you open this window now as wide as you can. And as you do so, you experience this immense flooding of light pouring in. It's a unified field of light entering from the highest layers of the mind, from the highest orders of creation, and even beyond creation itself. We're connecting with what we can refer to as the I Am, the presence, divine light. We are not separate from this aspect of who we are. So we allow this field of light, this divine presence, to now move downwards through all these levels of the mind, through all these layers of the heart, emotions, physical body. So everything that we are, everything that we feel in our emotional, mental bodies, our personal experience of who we are, all of that is now being permeated with this field of light as it pours in and downwards. It's an electrical force, very high vibrational, intensely powerful and strong and cleansing. And as it pours in, it begins to clear out deep layers of hucha, deep layers of fear, unconsciousness, places where we've lost ourselves and separated from our truth. Deep pain and grief and just the layers of humanness that we've carried for generations that have kept us trapped in a matrix of separation, duality, fear. And as this light continues to pour in, you feel these deep layers of hucha releasing down towards the earth. Mother Earth receives this with gratitude, because that's what she's here for, as an unconditionally loving mother. So this descent of light continues and continues. As we join together in our unified consciousness, it becomes an immense column of light permeating through this wide earth, penetrating deep into the heart of our planet, deep into our collective human consciousness, unraveling, releasing layers of unconsciousness, of grief, of pain, of fear, all of which is coming to the surface now in these times as a consequence of this corona crisis. There are so many layers to this. So allow this unified light, this electrical force, this fire from heaven to pour in and through, releasing old stories, old pain, illusions. It's a cellular process. It's very tangible. It's like standing under a waterfall of light and just experiencing that vibrational frequency getting stronger and stronger, allowing these rivers of light to move through, connecting sky with earth. And then something very mysterious begins to happen. As these frequencies of unified light, this electrical light, continues to pour in and down towards the earth, you begin to experience a rising of energy from the earth, from deep within the earth. It comes up through the feet, up through the body, up through the entire bubble, up through all the layers of personality, the heart, the mind, the memories, the sense of ego identity, and continues moving up through that window back to the sky. And this energy that comes up from the earth is magnetic. It's a different frequency, it's slower, it's heavier. There's a depth and calmness. There's a deep healing power. There's a comfort. There's unconditional love. There's the ability to simply surrender in trust. Trust means not needing to know or understand everything. It simply means to understand and recognize that we are part of a much greater wholeness. And so we connect with the energy of Mother Earth and allow her energy to move up through us from the inner kingdoms of life, receiving the power of the mineral kingdom, receiving the structure of the plant kingdom, the power of the animal kingdom, the wind and the waves, the sun, the earth, in all the forms. You feel this rising of energy and power coming up through your body back to the sky. And as both these streams continue moving back and forth simultaneously, you begin to experience yourself as a bridge between earth and sky, between heaven and earth. And you feel yourself expanding. You feel that bubble expanding out further and further and further, becoming subtler and subtler, You're connecting with your subtle bodies, your causal body, the soul body, whatever you call this. You feel more and more expanded, more and more connected with Gaia, with the cosmos, with the unified self. And you become Gaia. You become the cosmos. You become the one self that moves through all things. You become a vehicle now for the supramental light to enter and to permeate the heart, the soul, the body of this earth. You become a force for evolution, unfolding itself in great and mysterious ways. This field continues to widen, expand, deepen. The bridges between the upper world, the middle world, and the lower world are open. The lower world represents the kingdoms of the earth, the elemental kingdoms, the invisible forces of life. This is where we begin to feel, to communicate with Gaia, the soul of the earth. And we understand here that there's nothing outside of us and that there's nothing that can harm us, including what we refer to as the coronavirus, and is simply a reminder from Gaia of who we are in our humanness as part of the earth. We've imagined ourselves to be masters of creation, masters of life on this earth. And this tiny little virus is reminding us that no, we are simply a part of the whole. And so we connect now with the wholeness of life, with the magnificence of nature, the beauty of this earth, opening our hearts in gratitude to what we've been given. In this space, your human identity, your soul identity, and the aspect of you that's beyond time and space fuse together as one. In this space, you join yourself with the heart of Gaia, with the soul of Gaia. And you experience that even the body of Gaia is not separate from your own body. We're creating a mighty wave of presence across the earth. And within this wave, new creation happens in creative and unexpected ways. Thank you so much for participating. Thank you so much for being here on this beautiful earth. Being part of this beautiful community. Of awakening hearts. There's a transmutational process going on right now. The so-called virus is an opportunity to release deep layers of unconscious fear. In fact, it represents the voice of this shadow that we've carried within us and around us for so long. It's an opportunity now to release this collective shadow in all the ways that it's hurt and hardened our hearts, all the ways that it's separated us from what's real, from nature, from people, from ourselves. So as we hold this field of light, unified light, together, we offer this intention to release this collective shadow of fear. For those of you who know the Hucha Micha practice, you can do that. Receiving the Hucha from the Koskunavi, releasing it down to the earth. And then pouring out the Sami, the light, from your heart out into the collective, the transmutation. So much beauty, so much love that we share. As we take back this world, take back our power, take back who we are. As we move ourselves from wherever we've been stuck on the scale of consciousness towards that space of awareness and unity consciousness, is simply a perspective. It's always been true. It's just that we've lost that awareness. So there's nowhere to go, simply to recognize where we already are. So if you wish to remain in this space, please do so. I'll end this session for now. And we'll continue meeting 3 times a week for as long as people wish. It's time to create a wave that's big enough to confront and conquer all the waves of fear that have inundated humanity and the earth in the last many generations. It's time now to awaken as Homo Luminous, the divine human species, new biological consciousness, the human butterfly. So blessings and love. Any comments, any experiences you wish to share are welcome. Okay, until next time.